wait time application. My name is Scott.
Dustin.
I'm Stefan.
I'm Nicole. Alright, so the purpose of this is to provide a service from St. Joseph Mercy Health System to assist potential customers in choosing an efficient form of emergency care while also supplying them with helpful information. Our scope is it's an Android-based application, and when you enter the application, it ranks the hospitals by taking the drive time from your current location and the estimated ER wait time into consideration. And it automatically opens up to the most efficient hospital, when it's loaded. And it provides details such as the address, the website, and the contact information for each hospital. It also provides a quick dial for each hospital and navigation from your current location to the hospital that you select. Our inspiration for this is that it gives potential patients in need of medical care a resource for making informed decisions when faced with an emergency, and it also helps establish better relationship between the hospital and the community with real-time updates on ER wait times. Our phone requirements it's basically Android 2.0 or above, 1 megabyte of storage space, you need to have internet access, GPS enabled, and you need to have phone service. The restrictions on our project was we weren't able to get access to live patient information through St. Joseph Mercy because mainly due of non-employee team members and because of HIPAA laws.
Alright, so our potential setup, each hospital connects to the same database, the Novine. They have like a centralized database where they push all their registration info out to. We don't have access to that, like Nicole explained. So the Android application would communicate with the external database via PHP. Now, taking all this into consideration, we wanted to get our actual setup as close to the existing environment as possible. So right now, the hospital network, they have 7 hospitals in the Metro Detroit area. Each one connects to this centralized database here where the registration information gets to. Since we don't have any access to this, what will happen is we've set up an external database here. All the non-patient information, such as registration times, number of rooms at the hospital location, that kind of thing, will be pushed to this external database. And all the phones would communicate with just this external database, keeping all the private information secure in the hospital's network. So our setup, what we wanted to do, we wanted to mimic their existing system as much as possible. So we have an internal and an external database set up. They're both on the same one-on-one server right now. And again, that's just to mod the existing setup. The external database, again, only contains registration times and patient location. As the Android application accesses only this external database. So this is our mod system. As you can see here, we have this mod electronic health record system. Basically what this is it's just a web server that hosts a web application. The nurse at any hospital would use a terminal to access this web application and register new patient information in the emergency room. So from there, the data would be pushed out to the external databases, and the Android phone would collect that information there to build the wait time list.
So, like Stefan said, we try to make it as close to the real thing as possible. So the conversion from our mock setup to our real setup really is pretty simple. And what we would need to do is implement a built-in electronic health record component, which we can specify what type of information we want to pull from that, and then actually have it push out to our external database, which is where something public such as a mobile phone can access. Basically, we would need a new script that would run on the local servers, and from there it would cross-check the live information that's internal to the hospital with the external information. So that's to make sure that it's up to date, fresh information, and it's accurate. And then within the Android application, like one line of code would have to be changed for where it's accessing our PHP script, and the PHP script would have to be put on the new servers and just change the code for which database it's going to connect to. So it's relatively simple compared to the rest of our project. So here's kind of a close-up look at the interface. You can see in the upper left, that's the secure network within the hospital's network, and the internal EHR, so this is actual patient information, social security, I mean everything you don't want phones to connect to. From there, it would push it out to our external database, and like he said, only registration times, amount of rooms, physicians on staff, basic information that wouldn't violate any HIPAA violations. So for calculating our wait time, so it looks intimidating, and really you don't really need to know how it works, but you just need to know why. And it's because it's not a cookie cutter formula. It actually takes into consideration the number of rooms in each hospital, the number of physicians currently on staff, the number of patients currently in the waiting room, and the average length of stay for all those patients in the waiting room. So it's kind of a nice way to use variables to come up with a calculation that can incorporate every hospital. The hospital efficiency rating, so this is on our list screen. It ranks which hospital would be the most efficient form of care. So when you open up, it'll open up to the recommended one right away. And so it ranks it by taking the drive time into consideration, and we actually weighted it 60%. It uses Google Navigation, and I don't know if you've ever used it, but it's usually pretty spot on to the minute for how long it's going to take you to drive somewhere. So we weighted that a little more, and then we did 40% for our estimated wait time because it's just that it's estimated, it cannot be guaranteed. So that's how we rank them, and you'll see in our demo how it shows the ranking. And then before we go into the demo, just the future of the application. It's going to be shown to the CMIOs, the Chief Medical Informatic Officers of multiple hospitals within this network. I personally am affiliated with 2 of them and indirectly affiliated with 6 of them, so it would be easy. And I know St. Joseph Mercy Oakland actually is interested, actually already told me they're interested in an app just like this. So if it's, if they decide they want it, we could strike up a deal, convert it to a functioning setup. And then the other great thing about it is that it can be easily marketed and adapted to really any health system, changing color scheme, and then connectivity to the database.
Alright, so now we're going to go through just a little bit of what the app looks like. Like I said, when you first launch the application, it takes you right to the recommended location based on the drive time and the expected wait time. Here you have a little thumbnail of it so you can see what the picture see what the hospital looks like. You got the call, directions, and website buttons right there in the middle, real big, easy to get to. And up there you got the navigation. You can click on the list button, which takes you to the next screen. And this, like you said, this is a list of all 7 Metro Detroit St. Joseph's Mercy locations within the network. And it's ranked, according to the efficiency rating. So the better hospitals will be at the top, and further down you get less recommended. Then if you click on one of these hospitals here, it takes you to the details screen. It's similar to the first one. It shows a thumbnail of the hospital, same big buttons right in the middle there, call directions, website, and then it gives you their address and their phone number and the expected emergency room wait time. Demo.
So here's the demo. This is running on a phone with the newest version of Android Ice Cream Sandwich. So here's the demo. This is it opening up, and you can play with it after when you're going through the posters. So here's the recommended location. Like he showed on the right side, you got the wait time, you got the distance. One thing that we didn't go over is this menu. We have a disclaimer in there. Basically just saying, if you're in an emergency, don't use the app, call 911. And also, estimated wait times aren't guaranteed, they're estimated. So that's one of the things in the menu. Also, we have an about. It just has basically talking about basic overview of the app, versioning, development team, just kind of basic information. From there, you can go into the list. It's scrollable. Like we said, it ranks them. You can click into a hospital, goes to the details page, has address, call. If you hit call, it goes and pre-dials it into your phone, so all you have to do is hit send. You can also click on back to go back to the list. From here, the last thing that's in our menu is the refresh button. And it re-pulls all the information and re-ranks them, so you can see the times changed, it re-ranked them to what would be more efficient. From here, you can go back to the recommended, which is still the same hospital. Go to details, just adds a little more information. It's showing call again, pre-dials it for the correct hospital. You can click on website, it'll open up your browser and bring you to that specific hospital's website. You can hit the back button, and you can actually get directions. So it's taking it from your current location. So there it shows the directions, and then you can hit navigate, and it'll actually use Google navigation and take you turn-by-turn directions to that hospital. And that's pretty much everything our app has to offer. Is there any questions? Yes.
How did you get the specific information that was specific to St. Joseph's?
What do you mean?
Well, your knowledge of how many facilities they have, what their server setup is.
Well, I work in the informatics department
Okay.
at both St. Joe's Oakland and St. Joe's Ann Arbor.
Okay, so you do have some existing knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions?
What do you think the chances are to actually go forward?
I know St. Joe's Oakland really wants one. Actually, they wanted one even simpler than this. So we kind of went above and beyond what they were looking for. They were looking for one just specific to their hospital. But really,
What would be the point of one hospital though, as to how to get there?
yeah, and estimated wait time. I mean, it just gives basic information, being able to call. But so that's actually what they're looking for. But actually having it implemented, I know this is something that kind of tickles the fancy of the CEO. So he loves the latest and greatest. So I'd say there's a pretty good chance. Any other question? Yeah.
So you're saying that it takes the wait time, the ER wait time and drive time, and then figures out which is the best way. So I saw on there, here was, like this example in here was wait for 7 minutes at the Livonia location, but it's 37 miles away, while the Oakland location is 42-minute wait, but it's only 10 miles away.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like it should be flipped. Like even though you're traveling, even though it's the closer one is a little bit longer wait, it seems like you have to travel a lot more, 30-some miles to
Well, yeah. Well,
so
we waited it just because drive time is guaranteed. Estimated wait time, that number could go up by an hour. It could go down by an hour. There's no guarantee, but if you're, Google navigation, it knows how long it's going to take you to get there. So it's more of a guarantee. So that's why we waited it the way that we did.
And then does it take into consideration that there was a latest update for Google Maps where it takes into consideration traffic?
It does not, yeah. We did look into it, and it's something that could definitely be done, but we did not implement that.
Did you go via Java or did you go via?
Yeah, it's just, yeah. Any other?
All right, thank you.